Welcome, guys. Today we are with this show, a new movie which has been released in Netflix. It's Ludo, and we are going to decode the fashion of Ludo, right? So with me, there is Titash and Ananya from NIFT, and we'll try to understand what this uh, movie dynamics are related to fashion, not as a whole choreography or anything else, but complete in the sense of fashion, right? Because fashion has not just to do with aesthetics, but it has to do a lot more with the character of the story and then how that character is moving forward with it. So let's start. Hello, guys. Tita, just like can like what can you tell us about this movie and like do you think this is a why this is an interesting movie in terms of like doing this next show of decoding fashion for this?
So the movie Ludo is basically inspired from the game itself,
Yeah,
as we can see. Uh,
yeah,
so there are four
this
teams,
one.
and there are nine characters, main characters, and there are four teams.
Hmm.
Basically, team red, blue, yellow, and green that
Yeah.
finally meet in the last scene of the movie.
Okay.
And so the movie is about their journey
Okay. So,
and how they pass different obstacles to
mm-hmm.
reach like the final stage of the game per se.
Yeah. Another, do you
And
think that
the
like there
interesting
is
part is
sorry,
yeah,
sorry, I'm sorry.
the
Yeah.
interesting part is the costumes of the coordinated with the team they're in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ananya, like anything interesting?
Yep. I think according to each team, their color, the as she mentioned earlier, the ways they've coordinated color is really great.
Yeah.
And like they mentioned before, every female character wears red at some point,
Mhm.
which is pretty interesting in itself.
Okay. So
Yeah,
why not we
I think
start?
we'll talk about it in
So
detail.
let's start with like I think first we have Shruti, right? I think let's start her let's start
Yeah,
her character and let's see how she is trying to communicate about herself, right? Okay, so
yeah.
Ananya, can you like
Okay, so Shruti, right from the beginning, you feel like she's very
yeah,
happy and cheerful,
yeah,
and she's wearing. You can see her wearing a lot of yellows.
yeah,
Like
because she's from the yellow
the
team.
first picture, she's wearing the yellow dupatta and the kurta and all that, right? This is when she's going to like meet a guy
Hmm.
for a date, and she looks happy and cheerful, and that personality comes through these scenes.
Okay,
Yeah. Also, she
and
belongs to like the yellow team,
yeah,
so every scene at least there's something that's related to yellow.
yeah. Tita's in terms of like ethnic wear and like Western wear, right? How she's using it to in different occasions.
So her character is presented in a very stereotypical manner, which means she is someone who has achieved a lot, but only to find a prospective groom,
Okay.
and that's what she does every weekend.
Mhm.
And whenever she meets this prospective groom,
Yeah.
she wears ethnic
Okay.
to to show that the sanskari part of it,
Okay.
and otherwise she wears Western clothing as in the next picture.
Yup. Okay. Okay. Cool. Uh, okay. So okay. Let's like I think there is this Pankaj. Like he's working on a very different level right now. So like in every movie he's there, right? So Sattu Bhaiya is in same way like he was in other movies also. But here is a difference. Like right here he's playing a role of a dice, right? Titash, can you like tell more about his garment and his style and why they have given him a leather jacket?
Yeah, so I was looking at the costume designer's perspective, and apparently he is supposed to be the dice of the game, and he's wearing black and white as you said throughout the movie, but so different parts of his ensemble, whatever he wears, is supposed to depict different things. The dhoti is because he's from Bhopal, and the gold and stuff is because he's rich, and
Yeah.
they added the leather jacket to show that he's very badass because he is a gangster.
At the same time, the aviator, like, right? aviator, just
Yeah,
making it more.
the aviator glasses and the
Yeah.
leather jacket is, yeah, supposed to convey that he is very badass.
Correct. Okay. So basically, he's something a dice in this in this whole series, right? He's
Yeah.
acting more as
Mm-hmm.
a like he's reacting, and then every but other people is getting affected by that, right? Okay. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah.
I think this is a very interesting character to like because he's a very pivotal in this whole
Mm-hmm.
series, right? The way he has done fashion, he doesn't look at the same
Yeah.
like although he is in the same context, the same year, like same the whole social structure, but he doesn't look in it in that way like the other characters did, right? So I was like we were
Mm-hmm.
discussing before also. So I was more in the sense ki there can be two ways because he's a fan of Mithun, right? So maybe
Yeah.
the fashion,
The
so
hair, the
yeah, the
prints.
costume designer
Yeah.
must have given him in that sense. But I was more into
Mm-hmm.
this part ki like if maybe because this guy that we were discussing before that this guy is clinging to the past, right? So to the past girlfriend, to the past Mithun, right? Everything is a past era he's clinging to, right? That's why all the
Mm-hmm.
prints from the past is cling to it, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
like makes him more
Yeah.
like awkward. Like I don't know, matlab, I think he's a little weirdo in this whole movie. The way he get to an awkward situation then dance, and although the series is, like although the movies are a little comic movie also, I think he fits into the character very well.
Yeah.
Anything like I don't know, ये ऐसा shirt मैंने देखा नहीं है कभी किसी को पहनते हुए also. But yeah, that's interesting. Any
Yep. It's a peculiar style. Like it, even his hair and
yeah
everything. Yeah, it could be that he's dwelling in the past. Also, maybe because they want to show that very clearly, right? Like the like Fatima mentions, right? Her favorite actor is Mithun,
yeah
and he is not a fan of Mithun really, but her favorite actor is Mithun. So because she likes him so much, he
yeah
dresses like him to
yeah correct.
impress her.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hair and all those
So
things.
yeah,
Nice.
even the prince, like
Yeah,
back from his days,
but
it's very relating.
like it is more like see, for example, see if some like for example if you are a fan of like anyone, right, from the past, right? So I think there is a way to
Mm-hmm.
exaggerate things, right? So they would have taken the silhouette of today's and they would have exaggerated it. So but they haven't done the same thing in this,
Yeah.
but they have really tried to show him a little out of context basically what others are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. They've just taken elements
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Okay. So what like okay? So this is nice. This is blue versus green team, right? So how their fashion style really like differs a lot, right? They are living at a same point of
Mm-hmm.
time, but still they look too different,
Yeah.
right? So like Ananya, like can
Yeah.
just talk about it.
Okay. So you can see that the blue is very modern, like the way she's paired
Mhm.
her jacket with the dress and the hoops and everything, the
Yeah.
earrings, even his watch with his jacket and the collar,
Yeah.
the way he styled it, like the collar button isn't, he's not wearing it,
Yeah. It's very
and like
simple. Correct.
yeah, and it looks rich and elegant. On the other hand, even the green team, I mean, Rajkumar is wearing like a police this
Yeah.
thing, like uniform.
Yeah.
Nothing much to speak about. But the red dress,
Yeah. And even the whole
like
styling part, it
that
looks
looks,
old, right?
yeah, it looks very
Yeah.
dated. Like even her earrings and everything, the way they've styled it looks very dated,
Yeah.
basically. Even though she's also wearing heels and everything, like you
Yeah.
can see the difference in the ear. Yeah,
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. This look outdated actually.
yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Titash, any comment on this?
I feel like for the team
Hmm.
green, they have really tried to exaggerate the fact that they are probably inspired by a different time, probably the time when Mithun's films were, very popular because he is her favorite actor.
Hmm.
And so they have really exaggerated the fact
Yeah.
that it's inspired by that time and hence the dated
Hmm.
garments and the dated styling.
Correct.
Mhm.
Whereas it's not. such for the blue team, which is
Hmm.
why it doesn't really look dated. It's very trendy.
Correct. And just look at the
Yeah.
lapels, right? So it's a very sharp lapels, and then look at this collar. Like
Mm-hmm.
who uses this like huge collars now, right? Yeah, just because of
Yeah.
small elements they have taken, and they have really they have, I think maybe they have done it intentionally, and they have tried to show these people like really outdated from what where they are living at. Maybe that's because
Yeah.
of the
Even the situation which they're
hmm.
in, it's very different from like
Yeah,
today.
and even if
Feels
you
like that.
talk about like how do you differentiate between just for sake like how do you differentiate between a rich and a poor person, right, or a middle class person, right? Basically we're looking into the colors
Mm-hmm.
and prints. Basically that's all the two basic parameters are, right? even
Mm-hmm.
though
Yeah.
even though the Sattu Bhaiya, like he is not wearing anything very luxurious, right? Still there are elements to add to his character that makes him look
Mm-hmm.
uh, in the category of rich, right? In the well, maybe in the
Yeah.
in the social hierarchy of in the he said that he is not in somewhere in the middle or lower middle class, right? He's not oppressed one basically, right? So
No, yeah. He looks rebellious
yeah,
and badass
exactly.
too. Like, yeah, it comes through.
Yep. So, and that doesn't come through like through this, right? This, I think their dialogue delivery, for example, इतने गोली मारूंगा 6 filter in कर दूंगा, कुछ तो ऐसी करके dialogue है, right? And I was like, कि
Yeah.
क्या अभी okay, so that was cool. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
in the same context, I was telling, like which we were talking before, right?
Yeah.
How they have differentiated Pinky and Shruti, right? And like
Yeah.
these people both are wearing, they both are on at the same point of time. They are wearing अपने age group के हिसाब से the perfect garment, but still the elements in their silhouettes, right? It represents that who
Mm-hmm.
belongs to which kind of a social structure,
Yeah.
right? So I think Shruti is more towards the upper middle class family, right?
Yeah.
Well off and
Even her personality, right? Like she looks, yeah, she's wearing casuals and she looks like
yeah,
chill basically
correct.
when compared, like not like the responsible kind. Like Shruti, she's got like a baby in her hand, like you can feel the responsibility that's
Yeah,
coming through.
even by
Yeah.
her hairs, right? How she has colored it, right?
Yeah.
So that looks cool actually. So
Hmm.
and like silhouette also,
And the
even the prints, right? I like
yeah,
the yeah the
yeah, exactly. They're both wearing like florals,
yeah
but you can see the difference in, yeah,
yeah
huge difference.
exactly yeah exactly and even like she's wearing this kind of a puff sleeve, right? Which is not of this age, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And the whole attire given to her as compared to her, I think that somewhere it shows a kind of a like social restructuring, right? Where they lie in the social paradigm of
yeah,
this. Okay. So
yeah,
same goes with hair also, right? The kind of print she has been using, both are wearing salwar. Titash, anything to add to this
hmm,
hypothesis which we are making by not talking to the designer? I don't know if designer have designed it or what they have done. They have a costume. They must be having a costume designer. But what is your hypothesis? I think Vikas, can you hear me? Okay.
uh, actually the thing is like you can even differentiate the times using like looking at what material they're wearing. Like for
Correct.
example, I think Fatma is wearing like Pinky. I think she's wearing chiffon or Georgette
Yeah.
dupatta,
Correct.
and it's like proper stripes, like thick,
Yeah.
broad stripes. Whereas her dupatta is like netted, and
Yeah. Plain kind of.
there's hardly any border. Yeah, which you can see the difference in time just with those small elements.
Yep. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Even like the plain color she's wearing, and but just this embroidered bag, small bag, right? The trendy
Yeah,
bag.
yep, yeah, the bag
Exactly.
too, and even the neckline, right? The sweetheart
Yeah.
neckline and the straps.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct. Okay. Titash is on the line, or like her phone is like dead or something like that.
not
Yeah.
sure.
I think she's disconnected. Some. Okay. No issues with that part. Okay. So Bittu character is
Okay.
I think interesting, right? Uh, he has been
Mm-hmm.
given a kind of a person who went to jail and has not updated himself at all, right? He is
Yeah.
also living in past basically, and that is represented by the way he is. Like he wears very dark colors, right? And I think that's what his life has been like, right,
Mhm.
for many years. So
Yeah. Yep. Also, like we
yeah,
know that he's on the red team, right? But since he's not a happy man, like he's mostly depressed. He just came out of jail and everything. So they're not giving him like bright reds. If you
correct.
notice that it's mostly like dull reds, maroons, those range of
Yeah,
colors. And like I read a little bit about what they were thinking when they were shooting the scene. So the costume designer says maybe like since you can't give him like bright colors. Like if you notice the doll which he's holding, they made that
yeah,
red so that they placed like objects around him in like bright
hmm,
reds to
correct.
make him look like within the red team like that,
Yeah,
which is pretty interesting. And also the
yep,
print,
and
yeah,
yeah,
the print which he's wearing, right? That only in that you can see like pops of bright colors in it because he's happy there. He's with the kid and he's happy there, and it
yeah.
really shows. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that can be like this is the taking point from this thing, right? For example, I think it's very important fashion. Like, how do you take colors into colors into account, right? Even if you
Yeah.
if you open up your wardrobe, right? So dull colors can
Mm-hmm.
look good, but based on the occasions. At the same time, what kind of color those are, and then how the small
Yeah.
style elements are like there, right? For example, if it's
Mm-hmm.
pleated
Yeah.
skirt, then how the pleated skirt is, right? And that's going to tell that which era you
Mm-hmm.
are talking about. Right.
Yeah.
Titash, like, do you
True.
have anything to say about Mr. Bittu?
Um, I think she covered most of it
Yeah.
for Vittu,
But ये मुझे normal लगा. Like,
but
I
I
think
think
this is the
also
normal guy like which can walk in
yeah,
any street, right? Parishan sa.
the print he is wearing is
Yeah,
also pretty dated.
refrigerated. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not very like yeah, exactly, not very new. Like yeah, not very trendy print, right? So it's but yeah, he is actually he has
Hmm.
served time in jail and like he has came out right from after 6 years, right? So his fashion choices are going to be like that way,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like look at his shirt basically, right? But यहाँ पे उसकी shirt थोड़ी सी change होती है यहाँ पे like this Mandarin
Yeah.
collars comes in when he's very happy and he's going with a girl, right? He so yeah, and there is one more very interesting piece, for example, like how these people use
Yep. Yep.
stereotypes, right? In terms of accessories. For example, like the locket he is
Yeah.
wearing, right?
Mm,
This resembles something, right? So and
yeah.
this and everybody is not wearing this. For example, Pankaj is not wearing this thing, right? He is also a gunda, right? But that stereotype is shown.
Mm-hmm.
I think this locket is a very I don't know. It's about faith also, but at the same the stupidity that comes with faith. शायद ऐसा कुछ I don't know. Okay, but जो भी है. But yeah, this
You can also see that like he's not very fashion conscious. Like he doesn't
yeah.
care about what he wears, unlike
Yeah,
Pankaj. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm,
He's not communicating actually. Exactly, right. Right.
Yeah. I mean, he's communicating
Yeah,
emotions, and yeah, more than like wanting to impress or wanting to say something about his personality. It's more of emotions that come through. Like he's not happy, and that comes through.
correct.
You can, yeah. When you look at him, you know that he looks like he's almost given up on life.
Correct. That's why life gives upon him, right? Aisa. Okay, I think okay. So like Titash and you can talk about this image right in depth, right? Because I think this, like I think fashion has one thing in common. It is, as we say, like it is a fundamental way how people understand about you, like looking at first time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
how the costume design in this have made these three people from the same time look very different from each other, and that
Yeah.
completely shows what kind of a social hierarchy they are in. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Um. Okay. So, like, I feel like they're all. around the
Yeah.
same age. Think about it.
Yeah.
But like the first picture, like Sanya and Aditya, if you look
Yeah.
at them, like they look like upper middle class family,
Correct.
and they really not, they're just casual. They're not really trying to impress
Correct.
anybody or show anybody that they're rich
Correct.
or something of that sort. Whereas the blue team,
Yeah.
right? Pearly, they look like they literally look like, now they look rich, like they look classy. But
Correct. This.
if you actually watch the movie, you realize that they're from a small town,
Correct.
and they just like moved to this place and they've just gotten rich. Like they just got the money and they're splurging basically, and you can see that.
Yeah. This is working
Like
class,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Getting rich.
Whereas the last scene, like they are around the same age, but you can see how different the idea of like how different the expectations are. Basically, like look, she's got a baby in her hand, and like she is in this scene, she's actually trying to get her husband out of the jail, right?
Yeah.
So that's the scene here, and she's taking help from Rajkumar,
Yeah.
and you can feel the responsibility, like that comes through. Like even they are from maybe from like a small town or maybe like middle class, but
Yeah.
you can see the difference, the high
And
contrast in each
even
one.
the colors are so dull, right? Even the green Rajkumar Rao is wearing, the
Mm-hmm.
brown, this.
Yeah, wearing
Yeah, the
browns. Yeah.
colors are so dull. Titash, what like how do you think like fashion plays a like how kind of what kind of role fashion play in like depicting society, right? And that can be very easily done.
Yeah, I feel this particular image says a lot, especially if you look at the blue team. Like, if you look at the previous images of like what they're wearing,
Yeah.
there's a very vast difference. So
Correct.
they were both in uniforms previously. Like Rohit Saraf was a salesman and
Hmm.
Pearly was a nurse. And as soon as they got the money, they tried to dress in the
Correct.
poshest possible way that they can think of.
Yeah.
So
So that's the
that
prints are
really
bold,
comes through.
something like that.
Yeah, maybe that's why yeah, prints are bold and this it's red in color,
Yeah. Yeah.
and and he's wearing like a suit and tie with tinted glasses.
Yeah.
Glasses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Uh,
think there's one very important thing. I think like when we look into things, right? So there are always stereotypes. So you can call it stereotypes, or you can call
mhm.
it like there are signals basically, which tells you
Mhm.
about the like where this person is from, how is he. Yes, that locket can be a signal, right? To
Yeah.
communicate, right?
It symbolizes something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think even if you look at into like I think accessories are the very important part because they act as a symbol in a very interesting way. So do you
Mhm.
follow trends or not? That can be very easily communicated, right? What kind of a bag you are
Yeah.
holding or not, right? So a phone can be a symbol, right?
Mhm.
Also,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
look into the next image. I think this is the image of like men's fashion, right? How there are four characters. We have left actually Pankaj. Like he's a little quirky here, so I was like, okay, let's leave him. उसके लिए पूरा एक नया सीरीज बनाएंगे. But like Ananya, like what can you discuss in this thing and like how they have represented these four people in a very different way?
Okay. So first of all, I feel like there are two or three timelines
Yeah,
where like Aditya, he looks like he's from the modern times. Even Rahul looks like he's from the modern times. Whereas
yeah,
Amitabh looks a slightly older,
yeah,
timeline wise, and Rajkumar is way dated, and it comes through like look at his back yoke, the print on his back yoke for Rajkumar, and the way
yeah.
he's folded his cuff,
And even the shoes also.
and the
Even the
head
shoes
like
also. Yeah, hair
hmm?
also. Correct.
Yeah, the shoes and the hair, it shows that it's really dated.
Yeah.
Um, and in that scene, he's doing like he's doing a dance, right? And like it's kind of funny, but even that shows the kind of
Like
uh,
yeah,
yeah
Yeah.
time gap
yeah, time
basically.
gap. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And yeah,
If
and
you notice,
hmm,
yeah, like yeah, if you notice that there is like for example, three of them are wearing prints. Like both of them are wearing prints.
Yeah.
The that printed yoke. Then he's
Yeah.
wearing a printed tie.
Yeah.
Abhishek is wearing like stripes
Mm.
and checks.
Checks. Yeah.
Checks basically. Sorry. Yeah, and Aditya has this ombre effect going on. The dye,
Correct.
the t-shirt, which, and you can see that like the t-shirt, the way he's wearing it, the way he's folded his
Sleeves, right?
sleeves,
And the bag.
yeah, and like the way he's standing and everything. Like you know that he's like a very carefree person, and he's
Yeah. At
the
the same
casual
time.
attitude.
Hmm.
Yeah, comes even the
Yeah.
bag.
Correct.
It shows it's modern and it's casual, carefree. All those things come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's very true. He like how casually he's carrying himself, right? At the same time,
Mhm.
he's taking care of the basically the trends that are going on, right? And just
Yeah.
look into other
Yeah.
three people. Like I think this blue team, right? I think what problem this guy is
Mhm.
having is this thing he's wearing nice, but look at his collar, right? His collar is not like it's curved collar basically, right? And
Yeah.
then like
Yeah.
whatever he's wearing, he's trying to be someone else, right? So in
Yeah.
that sense, right,
That's
what he
true.
is wearing is not outdated although, but it doesn't go well with him actually. Right?
Yeah.
And that's why
It's stylish, but
yeah,
it's not sophisticated.
yeah, it's not yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then Rajkumar Rao, like he is wearing something very different, right? That
Mhm.
persona has been
Yeah.
given to him. And
True.
Abhishek Bachchan, I completely
Mhm.
understand with the Abhishek Bachchan wala part because I think like
Yeah.
he youngster, right? And
Mhm.
then he was for the last 6 years was in the jail, right? So there would be old clothes in his closet, right? He didn't
Mhm.
give a much care
Yeah.
about fashion also, so he's wearing what he can,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
most of the work he's doing by the emotions, right? That's all the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the aspirations, right? So I think this is nice. This was the struggle in this whole
Mhm.
movie, right? To get the money, to
Mhm.
get the bucks, right? And
Mhm.
in the whole segment, there is just one thing: exaggeration, right? And I
Yeah.
don't know
True.
why I think what this is what they wanted to show actually. He, just to show how rich these people are, so they have done everything in pink. I don't know why they have chosen pink.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
idea, guys? And this is pink.
Um, Not really sure why pink,
Yeah,
but
Mm.
I don't know. Like you can see the exaggeration,
yeah,
and it's hot
Yeah.
pink. So maybe the hot pink shows exaggeration. Maybe it's that.
yeah.
Also, like these bright colors, they scream Bollywood. Just saying. Yeah.
Quite possible, quite possible.
Yeah.
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 But in this Pankaj came as like full to black. हाँ, अभी मैं rich extreme rich हो गया हूँ तो मैं अभी white भी छोड़ दूंगा. I'll completely rich and then the embroidery is golden. That is nice. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how
That's
does
true.
that?
Yeah. And like a printed waistcoat.
Mm.
Okay. So this is slide we have taken it for the fun, right? Because
Yeah. And
yeah,
it's
and
interesting.
like
It's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
this Yamaraj and Chitragupta wala scene. I think how cool this is. They are first of all they're wearing
Yeah.
aviators, right? So
This
they are
is,
they are, and then I
yeah.
think he's having Apple Watch too, right? Chitragupta is a little
Yeah,
outdated,
that's true.
but the important like part to this thing is this thing. For example, how they have not made this these characters. They haven't shown these
Hmm.
characters uh, too fashionable, right? At the same time, not too old also, right? So they have
Yeah.
kept.
I mean, given them like a modern Yamraj look, basically. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and just to show that this is what it is, they've brought the headgear into it.
yeah,
Just the shadow,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. In the end,
It's
right?
pretty cool.
See, you say like,
Yeah.
do you think like ऐसा इनके पास कपड़े बचे हुए तो दे दिए इनको जो भी बचे हुए थे ले पहन लो यार खत्म करो पैसा नहीं है अभी.
It's a very modern take on like Yamraj and Chitragupta for that matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have been the narrator. Like Yamraj has been the narrator for the entire movie,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and like at the end he reveals why he actually explains the end at the end of the movie, kind of, to Chitragupt.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel the blazer, like Chitragupt does not look as fashionable as Yamraj in this scene,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
I feel the blazer have added to the authority of Yamraj over the other person.
But Chitragut looks more political, right? The
Yeah,
fight.
exactly.
Yeah,
He looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
that person who will give you give you an idea of what decision you should possibly
Yeah.
make.
Mm.
Yeah, basically. But Yamraj takes the decision. It you can really see the authority and
Yeah.
the
Like the
supporting
authority
feeling.
in Yamraj, yeah, and then the way
Yeah.
his hair is styled, like Chitragupt here,
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
he's wearing, it
The
looks like
clean shave,
it doesn't
right?
look as authoritative. Yeah, it doesn't look as
Mhm.
authoritative as Yamraj.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
feel that comes through in this picture.
Yeah.
But these
Actually,
both
the
are.
movie in itself, they've
Hmm.
brought in
Yeah.
like a lot of elements which mean a lot of things, which is great. Because they've tried to bring in a lot of symbolism and semiotics, which is great. But some places it's just too much that people can't grasp it. It doesn't come through at all. For example, the dice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pankaj dice, like the black and white. I mean, it really makes sense. The character really makes sense and everything. But the costume, at the end of the day, when you think about it, it is there are a lot of elements, and you get confused at some point.
Yeah.
Just
And
Yeah.
there's a second thing,
yeah,
right? For example, like I think for the
some
India,
point.
like when we did Peaky Blinders, right? There's a lot of information that has to be like keep in mind, right? And they were really up to the mark also, what they were
Yeah.
trying to do, what the other people also, right? When they were giving the scene.
Hmm.
I think what they have missed a little bit is the. I think maybe you can like Rajkumar's styles. Maybe it is outdated, but being on the same, but they look different actually. Not in the team wise also, but
Mm.
uh, on a very comic sense also, right? Like Rajkumar is most of the time like
Yeah.
in a
Yeah, that's
comic
true.
sense all the time. So and
Maybe
still
yeah. That will come into.
ठीक है, I think that was fair. Like मतलब movie में the movie was झकास, ठीक है. I think there would have been a lot more
Hmm.
to be done with the characters, right? So if they have been given a kind of a specific image, for example, in the case of Amitabh Bachchan, sorry, Abhishek Bachchan, right? I think he
Yeah.
could have been more in a like his character could have been developed more in terms of fashion, basically, right? To depict more who is he, who like what he's trying to reflect. Uh, by taking like I was thinking like for example, take 6 year you go 6 year back, right? You do a little research work on what kind of fashion was going on, right? Then you just chip cows. So that would be in a
Hmm.
much better sense. But yeah, that was good. But in this whole sense, I like the idea of this Pankaj Tripathi, right? Like why he's wearing. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was old but
Hmm.
modern too. That was
Yeah. I like the part where they've made every female character wear at least some one red garment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty. Yeah, like that's cool.
that,
I
but
mean, they took the time to like think of such a detail,
yeah,
which is
Mm.
even somewhere these people are doing this na ki red team mein, so there would be some places that this person would be wearing a red thing, right? Green mein to green
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, there is something they're wearing that's red, or there is a prop they've used that is red. Like
Yeah, yeah, which
in
is
one
great.
scene, yeah, in one scene, Abhishek and Inayat are both not wearing red, but there's a towel, I guess, which is red,
Yeah.
using which
Yeah,
he's carrying Inayat.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
अब that was जबरदस्ती का मेहनत थोड़ा सा ठीक है but ठीक है यार that was fine.
Yeah. Also, I'm just happy about the fact that like they actually cared about the colors
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
costume,
correct,
mm,
exactly.
which is nice, and it really worked well for them
Yeah,
and became
yeah,
a hit,
yeah,
right?
that was
So,
cool.
I
yeah.
mean, yeah,
And it's been consistent. It's been
yeah,
consistent throughout the
exactly.
movie. Like they didn't
Mhm.
lose track in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so ठीक है, I think that was about Ludo, right? And I think what people can get from this thing is this like what we said, like there are different social hierarchy in these movies, where Rajkumar Rao is there, where Arjun is there, right? And all the social hierarchies you can see through the fashion, and then you can get why those social hierarchies are put into place and why those fashion is given to those particular people, right? people, right, to represent that social hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can
Yeah.
take out of this movie, right? And like even next time, like when you are dressing up, right, you can take those things into account. For example, you cannot wear a 6-year-old shirt, right, today, right, because then you are going to look like Abhishek Bachchan, right? So that's the problem.
Yeah, but maybe if you
Yeah,
style it in,
in the way,
yeah, in a very carefully,
yeah, yeah,
casually,
correct.
maybe
So
you will.
maybe you pair it up with something interesting, right? So
Yeah.
it can symbolize something else also. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Even मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा. For example, the little girl was wearing this shirt, right? A very baggy, a shirt of a man, right? So it was looking like a dress basically. So like, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
I agree. They were wearing both same shirts basically, Abhishek Bachchan and that girl. That was looking
Mm-hmm.
very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So I think we are good to go, and this was nice. So we are going to do one more episode next Sunday. Cool. Hopefully, if
Yep.
your juries are done.
Yeah.